Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Dredge. This time with the Iron Rig expansion, and hello, what is... Oh, there's a buoy floating right there. I've been so worried about strange lights at sea for so long, I guess I'm a little paranoid. But who wouldn't be? I mean, after all, last time when we helped construct this rig, we ended up unleashing even more horrors upon this ocean. But with those horrors came even more opportunities. We've quite substantially upgraded our gear, given us the ability to grab some of the creatures that have risen up from down there, and may have been there since times ancient. We got these snazzy new lights, and there's actually even more I want to look out for. Right now, we need to head over to the Gale cliffs, because, as you can see, the fissure in the earth has actually split open even further and traveled out past the Marrows into this corner of the map. Which means there's no telling what could have been down there, been released, and where this thing could head next. We have a very potentially apocalyptic scenario on our hands, and I aim to profit from it as much as possible. But before we head over there, we have the opportunity to get some very, very nice upgrades. And as it turns out, having a big technology corporation at your back is pretty useful. And they've got a lot of cool upgrades for purchase, if we can help them out. So if we check out the market... Do you have any research parts for sale? Yes, I want to buy up as many of these as possible. They're very pricey, but we've got the money to tank it. And I think we're going to come out much, much better in the end. I've gone ahead and built the rotor reprogrammer, which increases our turning speed. And there's some other things to get as well. Word has it there's some crates floating over here. Yes, here we are. We need lots and lots of these still. Ooh, look at you! Hooked sailfish. Spindles of bone protrude from discolored muscle. A hooked bill curves inwards. A lure for something greater. Greater than this? Well, I'm sure you'll fetch a good price. Right now, I'm just trying to see what we can pull up. It looks like it is persistent in cleaning up this spill. So that's very useful to know. Maybe we can actually set things right yet. Swordfish. Huh, I guess we didn't actually have you guys before. Strong and agile, they have a special organ that heats their eyes and brains, improving their ability to catch prey. Well, you seem to be a deep sea critter. And you fetch 200 and 150? Great. I mean, at this stage, I'm putting off heading to the Gale Cliffs until I can find, first of all, more crates and also more research parts. I think I only need one more for the stuff I intend to buy. You know, sometimes I do love to just listen to the soundtrack in this game. Moving over the water during a rainy afternoon. I just love the sense of mystery and unease, you know? Everyone living around the water, but so absolutely afraid of it. And why shouldn't they be? The ocean is a dangerous place. It's dangerous even when you do know what's out there, which, even if you're an expert, how can you really? Huh, there's a crab pot here. I don't remember this, but we can take a couple of you guys for our own ends. And let's grab yet another research part. And I think that will be all. And yes, I am having trouble finding more of these crates. You know what? It's getting dark, but I'm in an adventurous sort of mood. Let's go. The reason I'm pushing this so hard is because if we're going to be traveling these distances, one of those upgrades can actually reduce our haste heat, and we're going to want that. There we go, there's a crate. This should be all we need for now. Oh, right, I'd forgotten about you guys. Huh. I guess the old threats are still out here, too. There's been the research part, and then you unlock. But we still need Dark Splash. That's the stuff, we want that to crawl up into our boat. Okay, now what was the other thing, though? There was you, the reverse, whatever. Let's grab that too, the reverse speed, and then we can use our crate. Okay, $100, and you go in there. So now we're a bit more maneuverable. Well, there's a great storm approaching now. And by approaching, I mean we're in it. What was that? I just heard a big, deep groan. And unfortunately, we've actually cleared a lot of this spill, so it might be kind of hard to get something to bubble up. Maybe we can try the Marrows if this isn't successful. Alright, come on, you. I just need... we might have taken away too much. There's some more over here. Sky is turning red. Wait, over here. Thank you. Dark ooze. There we go, Dark Splash. We just need some more now. There we go. One each time. And we'll gather some extra... Oh my god, what are you? What are you? Okay, well you look like something maybe bad. Because you're chasing me. Wait, what if we try our horn? Makes no difference. There's more than one of you now. Is it because the Dark Splash is on board, maybe? Because you guys haven't shown up for me before, and I've spent a lot of time in these places. Okay, well, no matter. Let's get some more stuff for sale. Something slithers into your cargo hold. Oh no. Maybe Dark Splashes have the potential to do stuff like that. Well, does it matter if I sell you as biomass? They said the bigger the better. You're still the same size, right? Yep. What's going on at the generator? We can sell you. You're still 210. So perfect. Now, Tech Lab. Head down into here. We can take a couple of these. And perfect. We are quite a bit more capable than we were only a couple of days ago. I've been trying to keep a record of where all that dark liquid has been showing up. Come see me if you need pointing to any contamination patches. Well, they do show up on the map, as far as I can tell, so I don't know what the point of that is. But we should now be much more capable of sprinting to the finish line. And there we go. That is lasting noticeably longer. And dissipating a bit quicker. Alright, let's set sail then for Gale Cliffs. And I remember in the beginning of this game when it took like days in-game to make the trip over there. Now we are so much faster, so many more abilities. I love a game like this where you look back and don't even recognize yourself. And you like kind of scoff at the challenges that seemed like a brick wall in the beginning. Actually, I remember when I first started, I came right out of Greater Marrow, and I felt like the whole day was already over by the time I reached the other side. Look at this, now we made it across the map and it's not even noon yet. Oddly enough, those cliffs are quite familiar. There may be a big beast inhabiting them, but hey, it looks like its environment changed a bit. Maybe it's not quite adapted to these conditions. I'll be honest, I don't remember what happened to it. I imagine it's still in there. But I've always seen this as a really cozy town, nevertheless. Now, what have we here? Oh, and since we're going to be here a little while, I think I'm going to sleep until morning and wait and buy some ice, because we don't want this stuff spoiling during the trip. I'm gonna buy that block of ice, should give me a couple of days with my catches. And let's get to work. Nautilus? What are you? It swims by propelling water through its many-chambered shell. They're one of very few species that can survive sudden wrenching from the depths. These guys don't get the bends. That's convenient for us. Wonder how many things didn't survive being brought up. More of you guys. Oh, that is a full crab pot. In fact, decorator crab. Having covered itself in detritus, this creature hardly resembles a crab at all. Alright, well, we'll start sending this stuff to the trader. We even found a research part. Here's something new. Lancet fish. Oh, you're a weird shape. With its impressively tall dorsal fin and razor-sharp fangs, this ambush predator stalks unsuspecting prey in the open water. Right, that's two of the things we need. I know there's more, though. Let's just keep an eye out. I wonder if there's anything within the cliffs. More of you. Probably need to drop some pots as well, right? Do we have anything? We do. Drop our crab pots here. And I suppose I'll see you in a couple days. Let's just make sure. There's still some fishing we could do. Because there are still patches of this stuff out in this direction. Oh, there's some. We've got to check every biome we can. You're new as well. Boom. Wait. Abyssal gar. Its body is slender and stiff, with long, sharply pointed jaws. They swim almost upright, fins fanning against the weak current to hold them still. The ocean is fascinating, isn't it? And horrifying. But that's why it's so fascinating. More of you. There you are. Hang on, go away, go away, go away. You're chasing after me. There's no ooze on me. I put it all back in my storage. I just want to see what these crab pots are up to. Actually didn't want that. I don't want these things decaying. There's something, and it's an aberration. Cortex decorator. Folds of orange tissue tower from its head. Scything limbs administer the structure. Dang, nature, you scary. Trilobite. This three-lobed arthropod is one of the most successful of all early animals. Their shells often leave pristine fossils. Alright, Mr. Scientist, I've got a lot for you. So we've got your trilobite, we've got your nautilus. But there is still one more thing found in the shallows. So it looks like we're heading back then, but that's okay. You don't even want the abyssal gar. And since we're not using the fish that remain, how much can we get for them? $35 for the gar. Only $70 for the cortex decorator. I feel like that's like a miracle of science. I feel like I deserve more for such things. Something important here. Ouroboros flag. Against the pale blue, a serpent consumes its tail. An endless cycle in the deep. I wonder, are these things one of a kind in order to get these upgrades? But we need to start looking in shallow water. This is still oceanic. Here we go. This is shallow. And, yep. Solicina. A distant relative of modern sea cucumbers and urchins. This spider-like creature crawls along the seafloor searching for food. I've never heard of this. This is another one of those times where I've got to ask, is this real? Seems like most of the species in this game actually are, so that's really interesting. Let's get some more. They sell for a pretty penny, so that's not bad. We'll grab another thing of ice, right? And be on our way. I gotta say, the DLC makes so many things worthwhile. Like, there's not really a great way to preserve your catches. There might be a couple of upgrades. But I feel like the ice really makes a big difference, and the fact that it's from a DLC is kind of crazy. Definitely recommend doing that stuff fairly early if possible. I guess it does sort of suffer from the trap, though, of like certain upgrades, by the time you're able to get them, are no longer as useful. Like, that ice is a godsend if you're a really slow boat. This game is sick. Right, but we should have everything we need to complete that part of the story now, which probably means another fissure opening in the near future. If I were a betting man. Alright, Mr. Scientist. Explain to me why you can't science up a solution. The scientist inserts a syringe into each of the creatures, now laying long dead on the slab. From each in turn, he draws a vial of fluid. This will only take a moment. Some vials contain the type of blood you might expect, deep and red, catching glints of light from the fluorescent bulbs overhead. Other corpses yield a dark, clotted substance. It seems to crawl up into the vial by itself. It shimmers with a quiet iridescence, as if lit from inside. He places the vials of what should be fish blood in a rack in front of him. Down in the deep, something begins to brush against the legs of the rig. Are those eyes? There's something gigantic, something incredibly powerful gripping the rig. So, it's really here. You knew something, didn't you? The scientist steps away from the nearby window, knuckles still white from gripping the frame moments before. Fisherman, the structure, the people on it, can't stand up to this. I had a student. She was developing some technology. He turns back and presses his forehead against the glass. It was a way of communicating, I suppose. We were working on emulating a language that we didn't fully understand. She began to twist the words. But she didn't agree with Ironhaven's methods. So, leveraging my role on the board of the Research Society, I pulled some strings and had her posted far away to Stellar Basin. Please, go and find her. I hope she's progressed her research sufficiently to help us. And while you're there, try to catch some of the local specimens. Ooh, I think they hold the key to understanding what we're here for. I think you already understand more than you're telling me. But that's okay, because so do I. Because if I'm correct in my assumption, this researcher and I have already met, haven't we? Hopefully being on good terms will get us in the door. I mean, after all, we brought her a dog, right? Can you believe the size of that squid? It's shaking the whole rig. Doesn't seem like it should be possible. The legs are anchored pretty deep. Well, where do you think it came from? HQ said we're not sending any more delivery ships, so if we want to get this place upgraded, we'll need materials from elsewhere. I got the stuff for you. I've been looking to clean out my storage. We're making good progress on getting the factory fully operational. Yep, this place continues to build even as something's trying to tear it down. Fisherman, I think you're gonna like what we can make here now. We've got various offcuts and scraps here. I can usually turn them into something. Okay, so now we can reproduce these things. Potentially useful, actually. Those are essentially the closest thing in the game to health packs, but look at this. Those are unmistakably eyes. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to spend the night in their presence. Alternatively, what do you say we get a little adventurous? Make the trip starting at night. Hey, by the time we get close, it'll be morning, and then we can hit the ground running, right? This isn't smart, but I just couldn't stand to be watched like that a second longer. I'm just imagining lying in bed, looking through the cabin, and just seeing those lights peering in through the windows. Well, that's already not a good thing. This light does seem to do a much better job of keeping us sane. And I believe that light does point the way to Stellar Basin. That's all this is using the lights in the distance to orient ourselves like stars. Okay, we are starting to go a little wee bit mad, though. And so I think it would be probably a good idea to pick up the pace. Then again, we may want to save our heat for when something comes after us. Yeah, we weathered that pretty well. Of course, you never know. I'm hearing some serious grumbling. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Dock. Okay, maybe that was a bit more rash than I thought. Oh, hello again. What do you need? Oh, look, you've still got your little pupper with you. Someone from the Ironhaven Corporation sent me. I didn't expect that name to follow me all the way out here. Perhaps that was naive of me. So, what do you want? We can start in a bunch of ways. Ironhaven Corporation's head scientist seems to know you. And I know him. He's the reason I was posted all the way out here, so far from home. He might have mentioned that I studied under him. But I studied him, too. His theories on nature's cycles were odd. He never went into much detail, but his work had some curious influences. I heard whispers through the door of his office, saw confusing diagrams that lingered in half-erased chalk dust and torn-up shreds of paper. Never could make much sense of it. What else? Well, the corporation has been constructing a drilling platform. Oh, and you're helping them with that, I suppose? Do you have any idea what they're even doing? Well, I'm starting to. She turns away and tries to recompose herself with a few deep breaths. Of course you don't. You're just trying to help, but you've seen what's happened to the water here. And elsewhere, I imagine. Just tell me about the defensive tech you've been working on. Look, the stuff you made, that helped us defeat the thing in the deep here. Maybe it can stop a similar creature over there? Well, it's the same tech used in the repulsion machine I gave you. Strictly speaking, I wouldn't call it a defense system. It doesn't interact with anything on a physical level. You see, Ironhaven's Scientific Communication Division have long been working on projects to further their exertion over the natural world. It's complicated stuff, but essentially they were trying to emit signals to communicate with, well, anything they wanted to, I suppose. The tech I've been working on is along those lines, but instead of a wide spectrum of communication, it attempts to broadcast a single word. Flee. It emits the vocalized panic responses of every animal I was able to gather acoustic data for. That's creepy and awesome. You are brilliant. We need to protect the rig and its workers. I don't care about the rig or the Corp, but not everyone there deserves to face the consequences of the Corp's actions. I'll give you some schematics. I'm sure there's... Wait, I'm sure someone there is smart enough to decipher them and get it built. Just don't let them think this means I forgive them, or that I approve of what they're doing. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. But even though we're insane, we've still got to do some fishing. Maybe now would be a good time to use this. There we go, panic lowered. Hang on, are you guys... But were you always pink like that? Kind of like the one-eyed things that chase us out of the goop. Oh, and speaking of the goop... Gotta see all that's here. Ooh, you're cool looking. Hang on. Eagle shark. Gliding on wings that are as wide as the shark is long. This ancient relic resembles modern-day manta rays and other filter feeders. Genetic lineage is a really cool thing to me. Being able to find out the origins of creatures, tracing it all the way back and seeing where they came from and what they split into. Tripod spiderfish. Is that just your shape, or do you actually walk along the bottom? I guess we'll find out. The spiderfish waits in the gloom, perched on stilted fins. It faces the current upstream, and can use its smaller front fins to direct prey into its open mouth. So you're really more of a funnel. Who else? More of you. And probably more of the others, right? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna have to look around a little more. no matter, but let's be careful not to go too close to the center where that creature waits. Ooh. Mahi. I swear I just heard a breath. This very strong predatory fish shines with a golden light when first caught, though the color fades to muted gray hours after death. I love how not everything coming up out of the abyss is actually like creepy or evil looking. And of course, even when they look like that, it doesn't mean anything. This game really emphasizes that these things are all just animals. All animals suited to their niche, nothing more. There's gotta be at least one other thing, right? We should buy some more ice, too. You. Karigmakala. Karigmakala? I don't know, man. Slitted eyes lie at the base of each pronounced claw. Its tiny mouth limits it to consuming small prey. Okay. We're gonna find the merchant, which, by the way, where is this pontoon to our left? And then we'll get some extra catches. All of this happening right off the coast of that abandoned resort. I still find that place so creepy. There we go. Oh. Almost made an oopsie. Almost made a very big oopsie. Oh, right, I had forgotten all this bioluminescence that rises up at night. This stuff is so cool. And you're new. You're an aberration, Medusa octopus. 8 snapping mouths crawl over each other at the behest of a silent master. That's the boss fight version of an octopus, huh? Alright, fish market. Some of these things are worth a pretty penny. Wow. We're gonna have to catch another one of these things. Alright, you can take that. You can take this guy. We've got to go grab some more anyway. Fangtooth. Let's make sure we have at least one. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, this will keep us in the game. And now we're gonna need, I swear, okay, maybe some aberrations. Let's go for aberrations. No? Cursed Fangtooth. A small and feeble mind, easily conquered, now brought screaming from the depths. It lies powerless. Well, I wonder what we can sell it for. There's another upgrade over here. There we are. I love games like this. I love games that have, like, really fun gameplay where you're constantly having fun learning, but that are also really all about the upgrade structure. Pacific Drive was also very good about this. You're always learning, doing, and improving. Look at that. That's a 100% stuffed inventory. That is what we call peak efficiency. And what will be more peak efficiency is making our way all the way back, but not before we sell some new exotic goods to the folks of Greater Marrow. I mean, hey, I paid for this ice. We might as well use it, right? 66. 26 for you. Alright, enough messing around, though. We are absolutely ready to head back to that rig. Look at it framed up and centered like that. Actually, the light becomes even stronger the more we build onto it, making it even more defined in the darkness of the night sky and fog. I have to say, I do find it kind of beautiful, even if it is going up directly against nature. There's also the part of my brain that just loves human engineering. Alright, that's 4 creatures. That might be all the scientist needs. Do you know anything more about the prehistoric fish I found? Nothing useful, aside from confirming with some peers that they are indeed species that were previously thought to be extinct. There's even a special name for that, you know? A Lazarus taxon, a species seemingly raised from the dead. I learned something today. I've encountered strange creatures in the contaminated areas. Oh? What do they look like? You begin to describe the creatures to the scientist, but as you grasp at the images in your head, they melt away, replaced with a swirling blackness in your mind's eye. After your description trails off, the scientist looks at you with some concern. Long nights at sea, unusual weather conditions, sleep deprivation, they can all lead to auditory and visual hallucinations. Not to worry, best to get some rest. You were a lot more understanding of the strange creatures before, but these things, I assume we're talking about those eye creatures. That's something else. Alright, well, we've got a lot for you. But not actually... You didn't want this thing. Maybe we had it already. Could just be a normal species that was underneath the dark fluid. Okay, well, we're going back. Yeah, we need crab pots. So we'll get some of those from our inventory. Meantime, we have the blueprints for defenses. So, this is where we're going to build some sort of machine to repel those tentacles, right? That's what the scientist said. Okay, we need more dark canisters. Have we got more crates? We've got one. I need to go do some more trawling. Okay, Operation Cleanup Crew is gonna have to continue, because we're gonna need these dark canisters for a lot more. I figure starting with the closest thing is easiest. I mean, it would be tedious, but imagine if there's like an achievement for completely removing everything. Doesn't seem like we can get rid of the fishing spots, so the creatures will remain. And that's that. This patch is entirely cleared. I have your thing. Let's build that defense. Defenses are primed, turning them on now. This had better work. I'm not hopeful. A droning voice begins to sound from the top of the rig, reverberating through the metal down into the deep. Yes, remarkable. The power spikes. Fisherman, don't forget about those samples. He walks away, muttering something about modulating voices and waves. The defenses are operational, emitting a droning sound that grates at the ears. And I imagine it feels even worse for that thing, huh? Really more it's being commanded to run away. Maybe communicating some sort of danger, or maybe it really is like a direct order that it obeys. The foundry's about to get bigger soon. Still waiting on a delivery, though. Oh, we can do that. Okay, we need more crates. Of all the things to hear, that's like pretty low on the list of what I want. Can I just once again point out what a beautiful game this is when you actually allow yourself to take it in and don't worry too much about the objectives? We're gonna have to stay with the researcher a little while longer. I wonder, can we tell her that it worked? I mean, she would probably be pretty excited about that, right? Alright, but we're here to cast out some... Let's not wait until morning. We're here to cast out some crab pots. And we're going to want to do it in the deeper areas. There's that slick. Really sneaks up on you, doesn't it? Crab pot and drop. And I think in the meantime we'll head over to Gale Cliffs in order to get our other pots back. There's a moment of blissful comfort where you can't see anything when you turn your lights out, so you just kind of assume that they can't see you. Of course, I imagine that's not how it works. Could be some aberrations here. Raise your mouth. Wow, was that a great white? Don't know if I've seen them before. However, what a coincidence that Jaws is my current treadmill movie. Let's stay away from that. How are our pots doing? Splintered crab. Amber glue holds shattered fragments. A deep dweller cracked from the pressure. So it's not even that that's a species, it's something that's been done to it by being brought up after all these years. Let's see how our pot is doing, and if it doesn't have what we need, we'll just plant a couple more. Ooh, it's got something, but the sea slug. I think that's precisely what we're after. And the glowing octopus. I believe we found these before. Sea slug. This small slug spends most of its life clinging to vegetation and feasting upon toxic sponges. I mean, that could be my autobiography. Look, with the beacon on top, that rig actually lights up all the way over here. In doing this, we've actually created another landmark on this map. Let's avoid this tentacle monster so we can go back to our current one. The darkness is very... oh no. The darkness is decidedly uncomfy. mostly, as we scuttle away from the bioluminescence. Oh god, the madness of the whispers on the water, it's everywhere. But we... You know, when you're out here, when you're using a landmark to navigate, it's simultaneously like you're just about to get there, and like it couldn't be farther away. Maybe with all this happening, maybe it would be wise to stop at the pontoon. If we can make it. There we are. And the whispers are quieted. I think we're gonna sleep with the light on tonight. How's our cargo doing? Still good. Yeah, this DLC has definitely made a lot easier if you've already completed the Pale Reach. I don't remember what it takes to actually unlock buying ice, but if it's later on, you definitely need it. But this should complete our part in the Stellar Basin trials. Got one last thing for you. The scientist arranges the specimens, now laid out on a metal table in front of him. He connects electrodes and wires to the head of each. The brains of fish are primitive. In many ways, their simplicity is a kind of purity. No burdensome emotions to confuse the data. Just as rigor mortis locks the muscles, the final shape of the mind is held by the brain. But it can be extracted. The room is pierced with the sharp sound of capacitors charging. The corpses on the bench jolt in unison. Slackened muscles arch and tense before lying still again. The scientist is already looking at the 4 monitors behind him. The same vague shape scrolls across each screen. Ragged circle, writhing cell, lidless eye, yawning pit. The difficulty is in reading it. Okie dokie. Outside, the foreman is in conversation with a recent arrival to the rig, a stern-looking man in a suit. But sir, the seafloor here, it shouldn't be disturbed. This whole rig is built on some kind of living fault. You have to trust me. Trust you? You, who couldn't even keep shipments in order, who involved locals just to save your own hide? It was you who couldn't keep the shipments in order. The ships never made it here. The foreman cowers behind a clipboard. You, who put this whole operation in jeopardy. Enough of this. Your concerns end at steel and scaffolding. The future of this corporation is for me alone to decide. Fire it up. And we just have to stand here and watch. The drill descends once more into the blackness under the rig. The man in the suit turns to you. And we're back on track. While he overstepped his corporate responsibility, it appears the foreman was right to enlist your assistance. There's one final building that needs to be constructed on this platform. Fleet services. Without this building, we're unable to scale our efforts efficiently. I'll cut you a deal. If you assist in the construction of this building, I'll permit the workers to fit your vessel with a significant hull upgrade. After that, I don't want to see you around here anymore. Our operation is confidential. Too late, bud. Everybody knows. Get on with it. God, okay, what is it going to take? We've got to get this place operational or the boss will have my head. Well, you know what? I think that is going to have to wait until next time. Man, even as we seemingly solved the problem, That's miraculous for a world like this. We were able to send this thing back down to the deep with no bloodshed at all. Of course, corporate has to come in and let greed do the rest. Well, it seems we're not quite done yet, but dealing with this will have to wait until next time. Until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.